did he target civilians or whether any other elements present in this protest?
Yes, there've been allegations that that his conduct was against a particular group of people or particular community. Now, there's a section of the Crimes Act in New South Wales called Section 93Z that makes it an offence of intentionally or recklessly threatening or inciting violence towards another person or persons on the grounds of their race, religious belief, or affiliation.
Right.
Now, the New South Wales Police requested the Director of Public Prosecutions to lay a charge against Vishal under that section. The Director refused. There was no evidence, there was insufficient evidence to ground any such charge. So no such charge was ever laid, and that charge requires the sanction of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Now, secondly, there is a section in the Crimes Sentencing Procedure Act which makes it an aggravating factor if the offense was motivated by hatred or prejudice against a group of people to which the offender believed the victim belonged, such as the person's religion, race, ethnic origin, etc. Now, firstly, Khalistan is not a race, religion, or language. So that offense cannot apply to the concept of Khalistan.
Right.
Secondly, there was no finding that the actions of Vishal Jood were motivated against persons of any particular community, race, religion, or language.
Right. What happened with his subsequent sentence, and when was he released?
Yes, he was released on the 15th of October of this year.
Right.
And upon his release, he was interviewed by the Department of Immigration. They offered him what's called a bridging visa, that he could apply for a permanent visa in Australia, and he would have a bridging visa at that time. And he declined that offer. He said, I will return home as soon as possible. They then issued him with a visa. He then left to go to the airport, and he got a flight to ultimately to India.
Right. So all the news that is emerging in the media that he was deported is absolutely false then?
He was not deported.
Right. And sir, I know that you're having a very busy schedule, but let me ask you my last question. The Minister for Immigration, Alex Hawke, tweeted as saying, we will not tolerate minority groups causing social cohesion in Australia. Now, how exactly has your client caused any social cohesions?
Well, that's a very unusual statement by the minister. The minister has provided a statement where he states that Vishal Jood was an unlawful non-citizen, which is correct, at the time of his arrest, which is correct. What he then does is that he tweets a link to an article in a private media portal, which has a photo of Vishal. And then he goes on to say that, and quoted in that portal, that the government takes very seriously its responsibility to protect Australians from non-citizens who engage in criminal conduct. And then he goes on to say that attempts to undermine Australia's social cohesion will not be tolerated. Finally, he says, I am pleased that this unfortunate event has seen our resilient local Hindu and Sikh communities unite. What he doesn't say, of course, is that Vishal Jood was not sentenced on the basis of any aggravating factor being that his conduct was motivated against a particular community, be it the Sikh community or any other community.
Right.
What he does not say is the circumstances in which Vishal left the country. He made a choice and he left the country.
Right.
So he left these things out. So what people have done, they've joined the dots, and there are all these headlines. Vishal Jood deported. Vishal Jood convicted of assaulting Sikhs. Well, neither of them is correct. He was not.
Yes. And I hope through this interview, a lot of people will be able to see the actual versions of the story through you directly. And my last question is, what is the course of action going forward from here?
Well, this media defamation of Vishal needs to stop. If people have facts, they can post facts, they can produce facts. If they don't have the facts and they continue to post comments that causes distress to Vishal Jood, to cause him fear, to defame his character, then there are certain recourses available to him in the legal system, both in this country and in India.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.